Hey, I don't know why this resonated with me so much right now, but I felt the need to record. When I was in jail, um, I was called a menace to society at my bond hearing. I didn't know how jail works. So, for those of you who don't, when you get arrested for something and go straight to jail, you go into jail, you have a bond hearing within a day or two. Once they've assigned you not within a day or two, within like a week or two, depending on your court system and how backed up they are. Uh, and so sometimes, like, I actually had my lawyer recused himself before I even had a bond hearing. It was really weird. So I defended myself at one of my bond hearings because she heard me out and she said, if you come to your bond hearing and say that shit and you got your parents with you, I might let you out. The problem was my parents then told um, my lawyer that I said that, and I got in big trouble, and I almost didn't get out. Anyway, long story short, I went to jail on oh, day 3. I did a video conference with a judge, and he issued me the court appointed lawyer. That was after they let me out of the turtle suit, which don't ever tell them in jail that you're suicidal just to try to get out of jail free, because you won't. You'll get in a turtle suit. The problem was I really was suicidal, and I tried to bash my head in. They said I stopped breathing 38 times. And because I was a female and naked laying on the floor, they weren't even allowed to do CPR. They would kick me to wake me up. And that was after I bashed my head in forward so many times. And then I realized that if you go really hard, which, by the way, don't get on me about sharing that information with people and being like, someone will hurt themselves. First of all, Eminem already took care of that. Fuck you. I didn't put a gun to your goddamn head. But also, you're welcome. And also, if you feel the need to do that, go talk to somebody. You could talk to me, but I've got so many jackasses that say stupid shit like that. I felt the need to go through this whole little rant and straight from the point. When I was in jail and called a menace to society at the actual bond hearing, I was told I was going to spend the next 5 months of my life in jail for my very first offense, for an offense that does not carry jail time with it. It carries 18 months of probation. So when commissary time came up, I remember the first week, it was like Christmas. Everybody got food and candy and letters to be able to write to home. And I remember that was the one that hurt the most, is that nobody would share their stamps with me or paper. So I was writing on the back of all my court documents and praying for the day I had money. Then one day I get a letter from my dad who had actually put money on my commissary. So first week, naked on the floor in the crotch of hell, literally for 6 days. On day 6, I was allowed to shower. Day 7, I go up to Max because I was in Max most of the time because of an act called PREA. It's the Prison Rape Elimination Act. And actually what it does, by the way, if you're somebody who is interested in this kind of stuff, is it isolates women who have been raped and makes us go insane. So I was in Max on 23-1, which means you're out for 1 hour a day, 1 hour and 15 minutes. You get 15 minutes to shower in addition, which is what they put disciplinary. That's actually disciplinary for the men. But for women, if you have been raped, don't tell them, because you immediately go to that help. I was told I was going to be in jail for 5 months. I sat there in my cell, which was actually a nice cell. That was my favorite one, was up in Max, up in B-Pod. So I'm sitting there, and I had been doing burpees, and I was doing them in those black shoes, and I was like, and they tell me I'm going up to to general population because there was a fight. And even though I needed the cell to myself, like they sat there like kind of apologetically, and I was like, yeah, I don't fucking care. Cool, whatever. I go upstairs. I have to sleep on the floor. The only time I got to sleep off of the floor was in that cell in B-Pod. I was number 1 in Max. And I remember when one of my best friends came by and she was like, hey, cutie in number 1, do you feel like you're number 1 now that you're in jail? This is your first time, isn't it? I heard you crying. And I was like, and I was like, oh, you're so nice. And she's like, I am nice. My name's Gypsy. And blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I'm putting the link. You can't even see my fucking face. And also it was bad angle. So she loved, because I took the orange jumpsuit and I tied it like this, because that's how skinny I was. I was about, actually they weighed me. I was like 108 pounds when I went in. I tied it like this and it like lifted my boobs up and it was a nice little cute top. So I was wearing it around like that and I got in trouble with the CO, which made everybody want to come and look at me, which is what happens. You're like a little monkey in a zoo. So everybody else in Max who's on 20 and 4, which there's 2 groups of them. They keep them separated. And so the first group, by the way, this is my jail, which is a medium-sized city. So I don't know how smaller cities do it or bigger, but anyway, so the 4 hours that these girls were out, and then there's 4 hours that these girls are out, and then the rest of the time, which is, like, nap time. They literally have a siesta time. Sometimes they let the 23 and 1s out during that time, but most of the time we get out in the middle of the night. I remember that they started letting me out during the day because I guess when I was sunbathing naked on the rec yard, they all thought it was funny enough that, and I literally want to say the CO who let me out, she said to me, those cameras work, right? And I was like, yeah, if they haven't seen a pair of saggy tits before, then you're welcome. But I know you have. And she looked at me, she laughed. She was like, I guess you're right, but damn, girl, you're crazy. Anyway, when I got to general population, there was a little bit of a, like, because somebody walks over and goes, you're Dakota's girlfriend, aren't you? And I was like, oh, no, like, yes, but like, I really, really, really hate when people do that. So someone told you to do that, huh? And she goes, oh, no, I just didn't know your name. This girl over here has been telling everybody that she and Dakota are sleeping together. And then somebody goes, he's got a girlfriend and she's super cute. And I'm pretty sure she's in jail right now because of him. So, like, if she comes up here, we'll just find out, won't we? And so it was like a little nothing to do with me, everything to do with the fact that this girl was trying to brag on who she was sleeping with, this plug. And everybody was calling her bluff on it. So, which, by the way, I was like, no, we broke up, so maybe he was talking to you, but I know he doesn't, and I know he likes bigger girls because I was bigger when I met him, but he doesn't fuck ugly girls, so sorry, girl, because she was really being mean to me. She did not get hers, by the way, because that was me getting mine, because she was kind of a bitch, but out in the real world. In jail, she slept a lot because I could tell she was a big girl who people probably picked on a lot because she was tall. Sorry, by the way, she wasn't like, and I don't make fun of people for their weight in general because you don't know why someone's overweight. But because I was for a really long time. Anyway, I'm being very apologetic about this, but she was one of the ones who broke into my box, which I got this box and I was like, ooh, I get like a box. And then stole my paperwork and told everybody that my name was on Dakota's paperwork. And I was like, well, then you'd have to be in the men's pod, wouldn't you? So are you a man? I remember I got real hateful with that one. But nobody else thought that one was as hateful because they didn't get it. Which you might not get it. Sometimes I forget that I'm much smarter than everybody. But back to my shoes. One of these girls who was like, oh, damn, you put her in her place and blah, 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 actually said to me, you're pretty cool. Just don't make friends with the murderer. and you'll be straight. I said, who's the murderer? She goes, oh, this bitch who shot her brother and like sits here and defends it like as if that's okay. And I was like, oh damn, she must be hardcore. I was on the floor, as were a few other people. By the way, if you are a jail official who's like, that's not legal, and where was she? Definitely reach out because I would love to share more of this story with you. I remember I lay down, I put my mat on the floor, off by itself, and everybody was looking at me weird. And as I'm laying there, I turn over and I see these pair of white shoes walking by me. And I thought, oh my God, there are walking shoes in jail. How do I get those? And so there's a little lady walking around, and I went and ran after her, and I said, where did you get those shoes? And how do I get some? And like, is it because of your age? And I remember I put my foot in my mouth immediately, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. She goes, no. And she's like, that's fine, it's okay. She goes, I just ordered them from commissary. That's all I did. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. I said, why are you in jail? You're so cute. And she's like, oh, I murdered my brother. And she's like, don't be scared of me. And I was like, don't worry, I'm not at all. I said, thank you so much. I said, are you going to be mad when I copy you and get the same pair of shoes that you have? She goes, well, no, sweetheart, because they're all the same if you order them. I said, how long did you get for murdering your brother? Because I thought she was going to say it. And she goes, 5 years. And she had that big smile. She goes, I got to keep walking. So here I am finding out I'm going to get 5 months. And I remember that the amount of time got put into perspective for me pretty quickly, just hearing 5 years. Then the fact that she was so happy intrigued me. And then, which I've later found out the story, and actually on her behalf, like, a lawyer needs to pick that up who actually got a fucking brain in his dick. Because this one didn't have a brain in either one. I mean, goddamn. Anyway, she did it in self-defense as he came at her with a shovel, and she got, she first, actually, I think that was her appeal. So stupid. Anyway, as I left jail after only 1 month instead of 5, actually it was a little over a month, so 4 months early, I was very blessed, and I felt it. I cried a lot on the day of, and the night before. I didn't even believe that I was gonna have a bond hearing. Anyway, somebody has chastised me for bringing my jail shoes with me. He says, oh no, you gotta leave all that shit in jail. And I said, why? And he said, because bad luck. You bring it out here with you, you're going back. And I said, okay, I don't see things that way. But then today, as I pulled them out and started washing them, and I looked at all my other shoes, and then I thought about, well, now I'm thinking about a couple other facts. So let me just say them real quick because I got to go buy some cigarettes, and this is already going on way too long. First of all, if you're a criminal, you probably think backwards anyway, but you're wrong about that jail stuff. In fact, I always have a jail bag packed with socks and t-shirts and a couple of pairs. Actually, I don't do the panties because I want more of those panties. I do one white sports bra, and all my little pens that I ended up acquiring, which you don't get many. And sometimes they won't even let you bring the jail bag in with you. Sometimes your dad distracts you so you can't bring it in. But these shoes right here are my most worn pair of shoes, which is why they're so dirty. I wash them the most often, whereas there's only one other pair of shoes I even care to take care of at all. My nice shoes I never wear outside like that, so I don't ever have to take care of them. And if I didn't sit here every time I had to wash these shoes and thank God that I'm out and show a little bit of fucking respect for a system that makes no fucking sense, then I wouldn't be doing myself or anyone else a service for the crimes I commit. So, if you're going to jail, check out it online. What they let you bring in, bring it. Leave what you can there that'll help other people. Socks, t-shirts. And I only got enough money to get these and some Swiss rolls. And a package of Pop-Tarts that somebody stole. So, yeah, I like my fucking jail shoes. Yeah, I'm going to wear them everywhere. And yeah, if you ask me why I'm wearing old lady shoes, I'm going to tell you exactly why the fuck I'm wearing these. And I'm not going to cry about it.